Hey YouTube, Meef Magnet here with episode 10, Feed the Beast Continuum, quick start, quick tips and tricks. Um, this time through we're going to go over probably the electrical setup for the Empower, how to get that stuff set up, and then we'll actually run it, and then see if we can get that grindstone put together. So, first thing I wanted to go over, was looking through better questing on that first page here and found alloy kiln. And the way this guy works, it's kind of like the smeltery, except it uses solid fuel. I guess I wasn't really paying attention to it. Not that it's all that handy. Let's take a look here. Let's put that shit back. And let's give this, let's throw this in there. So this doesn't work with, as far as I've seen, because I tried it with 3 copper and 1 tin, like a raw ore in there, and it doesn't fucking work. So the usefulness of this, I'm not sure if it's really worth it. Maybe it is down the line, but I don't see the usefulness in it, especially since you just throw the ore and shit in that in the smeltery and let it rock. Beginning game, it's more worth it to put in the smeltery. Now, once you've got dust in there, you can use the dust inside that thing to make that function. Then it might be more worthwhile. But right now, it looks like it's wasting this heat. I could be wrong. We'll check it in a while and see how that works out. Once we got a grindstone going, maybe that's the way to do it, and not necessarily in the smeltery to alloy stuff anymore. So let's take a look at what we've got going over here. As you can see, the electrical setup over here, or the RF setup, hasn't changed from here. What we've got going here is a little bit different though. Let's take a peek. I think I've got this set up. Yeah, let's go down here. Let's go take a peek at what is going on down here. So the way this works is the Empower itself goes in the center. So it'll be on its own pedestal. Let's take a look at this. The display stands are going to be the 4 surrounding, and it's blocked out at 2 away. So this grid I've got set out with this redstone flux here should be enough to power that. Okay, and then this just sneaks up through the floor. Now the reason I did that the way I did it is because you're going to see that there are huge like capacitance in these, and I think it's somewhere around like 100,000 RF. We're gonna double check it once we've got it all made, but the reason I did this is so we could disconnect it easy. Power, I don't like to waste it. I shouldn't say waste it, but a lot of times I've run out of RF or CF when I've needed it, and it's stuck in all this shit down here. I don't want to do that. So we'll feed it on demand for now until I've got some decent power generation where you don't necessarily have to worry about that. So let's go ahead and start crafting some of this stuff. And this is kind of a pain in the ass, but I'm going to start with the 5 display stands. And I think I've got enough material here, but we're going to do our advanced coils. So I've already got the basics made, I think. And let's go ahead and take a look at this. I have a lot of shit in my inventory. In fact, what I'm going to do is, let's get rid of some of this. Well, let's get rid of that at least. And we can dump our bauxite. And we'll save everything else. Okay. Now I've made some nickel here. We need the nuggets for it. And let's see, we're making 7 more. Let's see if we can get close. And of course, I'm off as usual. Let's cook one more of these bitches up real quick. Where the hell did it go? There it is. And that's going to be the advanced coil. Just keep in mind those nickel nuggets are out here. Around the outside, let's convert these. Go back in. There we go. So we've got, I suppose it would help if I would finish out the recipe. But there's those. So we've got advanced coils. Let's take a look at what we've got here. The other part here is this aesthetic quartz and this aesthetic green block. Now let's take a look at this quick. If you look here, the 10 CF is done in the atomic reconstructor, and this is just blocked quartz. So you need, I think we've got, it's 10. So 2 per display stand, so you know that should be the right number. This aesthetic green block here, this is done by using chiseled quartz block. So what you're going to have to do is make some regular quartz block. You know, it's just, where the hell did it go? Did I put it over here? Yep. Regular block of quartz. You're going to have to make yourself a chisel. Now, I've used the chisel from here. I've got a diamond chisel with this auto chisel. This is what I've been using to create, you know, the block for my base here. But use that and just pick one out of the list. And I can kind of show you that. Let's grab some quartz. Okay, let's get this up here. This is the one I use, chiseled quartz block. I think you can actually use any of these. It doesn't make a damn bit of difference. I could be wrong, but this is the one, the second one, chiseled quartz block, is the one to make this green shit. Okay, so keep that in mind. Put that guy back. Now, in order to get the aesthetic and then the green block, you're going to have to put that quartz that you made in front of this laser, and then just they'll come out of there. So keep that in mind. Atomic Reconstructor, that's where that aesthetic stuff is done. Okay, so let's take a look here. The other thing that we kind of need to take a look at is this copper electron tube. Not real expensive, but those are done in the thermionic fabricator, and you get 4 per set of 5 copper and then 2 redstone. So I always make a couple. I should be making extra in the downtime, so I don't have to keep crafting this shit all the time, but right now I don't feel like I have enough materials here to do that, so I've just kind of been making it on demand. But let's take a look at this. We're going to make 5 of these display stands, and I'm going to finish the rest of these out. Should be enough. And I've got a couple spares here in this advanced coil. Let's put these off to the side, but let's make these. So there's 5 of those bad boys. Now that we've got the display stands, let's go and set the empowerer up. Now these are a little bit more complicated. It requires some of the Restonia shit that we crafted earlier. I crafted some extra, but if you need some more of this stuff, it's done in the Atomic Reconstructor as well. Just a block of redstone, throw it in front of there and knock it apart. Let's make our first single battery here. This isn't real complicated. This Inori crystal, this is going to come from, and it's easier to do it in a bigger block, but a block of iron, let's check this again. Come here. There we go. Inori crystal. So a block of iron. What you can do is set these 2 blocks, or 3 blocks of iron right in a row in front of this thing. It'll do all 3 at once. You can do that quartz the same way. I should have mentioned that earlier, but you can do that. It will work. You can play with it. I don't know how far out it goes. If it's all connected blocks, I'm not sure. And then it just uses the CF that's in there. I'm not sure. Something to test. I didn't get a chance to do it. I'll probably report back next episode once I actually screw around with that some more. But we'll check it out. And I think the easiest way to do that is probably do... You could do extra if you have the iron. If you don't, no big deal. But let's take a look. Let's get this first single battery done. So there's that guy. And then let's do the double battery. And that's where the extra advanced coil comes in. So there's that. And then let's check the empowerer. And I am short a couple iron casings here. So let's go ahead and make those. A couple iron gears. I don't think I have those prepped. Let's go ahead and grab those. Yeah, that'll be okay. We'll run these through quick. So while that's cooking away, let's check out our display stands here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set one of these on top of each. See, 0 out of 80,000 crystal flux. So there is a... You do get a capacitance there. It's like a capacity to hold this shit, like a power reservoir. And I don't necessarily want these things sucking up all that juice all the time. So I'm going to keep this on this loop until I start tearing all this shit down again and reconfiguring the entire home base here for a different power scheme. It's kind of a pain in the ass, especially when you run out and you're using up all kinds of materials that you didn't want to use, and then you start running out of shit that it's kicked me in the ass too many times. So I'm not going to do it this time through. So it's up to you, whatever you want to do. Do what you got to do, whatever works. Let's get these bad boys out of here. Just about there. And I did have to finally put some lava in the smeltery here. First time in a long time. Let's run over here. What do we need? What do we need? We need that. And I need some more sticks. I think I've got enough shit for that. Yeah. Okay. There's one, and let's be lazy and do this again. There's another one, and let's do this, and there we go. There's the Empower. So we've got this set. Let's throw this on top, and let's just take a look downstairs to make sure that these connections did hook up. And it looks like I can't really tell. I'm not sure if these actually do make the connection. These two did. Maybe that center one doesn't need it. That very well could be. I don't think it does. Let's pull this out. You don't need to have that in there. This should work without. Let's close that up. Now, if you don't have a crescent hammer, make one. It's 3 iron and a piece of tin. Again, that's a crescent hammer. One shot to pull these off. It's precise. You don't have to worry about it. I should make some stairs down here too. There we go. Okay. So the way this thing works is you can see the recipes. This kind of flashes. But what we're trying to make here is the things for the grindstone. And I'm pretty sure this is a block of diamond. Now we're not going to piss around because we're going to do a whole block in one shot. So we've got to make this first. So it's a block of diamond, and we're going to stick it in front of the atomic reconstructor to get this diamantine crystal block. So let's do that quick. Let's run over here. Let's pull out 9 diamonds. Looks good to me. And there we go. Alright, let's shoot this bitch. There it goes. Let's pick it up. Now the way this works is whatever you're empowering in the middle. And let's just type this in just so we can come back and look at it. Powered. There it is. Okay, so if you kind of look at the way this is arranged, you can kind of tell by the way I've laid it out on the floor. So the pedestals or the display stands on the outside are going to get these items. Now, in order to get our empowered version of this crystal block, we're going to put this crystal block inside on the center one. So let's do that quick. Let's get this set up. We need some dye. And it doesn't really matter how these are set up. I guess it's easy just to kind of put this shit in order. This was a clay block, I think. Let's take a look. Yep, so clay block, clay, and then some light blue dye. And you can get light blue dye that's lapis and then just bone meal. Everything else is pretty much, it's pretty easy. Okay, so the RF on the outside, and I apologize, that center one doesn't get one, but that's okay. But you'll see here everything is set. So we might have to put some shit together here. It looks like this is kind of low. Let's take a couple of these. I don't think we need that many. 2 should do it. Might even be less. But anyway, let's hook this guy in. Once we put this in, you should start seeing the outside start doing that. Now when it's doing this, it means that it's actually doing its business. You'll see if it runs out of RF. These are positive gain right now. They're dropped. They should be pulling everything out of here. get some coal in there. And that's 180. 180, you'll know it's done when it pops. The stuff on the outside will disappear, and then we'll just have this left in the middle. Let's give that just a minute here to do its business. It doesn't take that long. Where'd it go? There it is. And this kind of just tells you can definitely check this stuff out. Sometimes it's useful. Well, a lot of times it's not. The one thing I wish it did tell you is what the power draw was on this thing. So we'll just let that go for a little bit longer. And while this is going, I think I already have the recipe set up for the grindstone, which is right here. And what else did we need? We needed, is it called a crank? Crank your yank. Yep, that looks good. So we got a crank. Man, this thing takes fucking forever. Come on, motherfucker. This definitely takes a little while. Yeah, we'll let it go some more. I'm just kind of looking to see what this is drawing. It looks, yeah, 26 minutes and 40 seconds for that one piece of coal coke I put in here, and it just does its business. So keep making that coal coke. It's worth it. It just takes time if you don't need the coal right away. I mean, it's practically free. Well, not free. You dig it up and put the shit in the coke oven over there, and it'll do its thing. Come on, I know you want to come out of there. Give it a little bit more. Check our... Oh shit, full of creosote. Gonna have to unload that too. You gotta check that every once in a while. It's kind of a pain in the ass. In the past, we've made these like 15 of them, and because we didn't use creosote very much, we put a damn void pipe on there just to get that shit out. Yeah, but I don't think, is there easy void pipe on here? Doesn't look like there is. We'll have to look into that, figure out how we're gonna get rid of some of these liquids, because I got a feeling there's gonna be a lot of that shit floating around. And this thing's got to be getting close. Gotta be getting close. Not sure how long it's been on there. It's been on there a while. It's okay, we got some time yet. Let it go a little bit more. Fire this guy back up too. I always like to keep a little bit of a charge in this guy. That way it's just ready to go whenever you need it. I'm not hooking it into the rest of that power. I don't find that necessary yet. I'm sure once you gotta start putting lenses and shit on it, that's a different story. Man, I might have been wrong about only putting 2 of those in there. Might have to grab one more. Nah, we'll go with 2. 2 just to be safe. There it goes, it exploded all over the place. Bunch of white stuff. So we've got... How do we get this out of there? Oh, right click. Right click the empowerer. So that's there sitting. But now this is actually going to draw. I'm going to disconnect this because I don't want it doing that. Let's put this back in the chest. And let's crack this bad boy apart. And fill it in. And there's a quartz grindstone. And I think just for right now, I'll put this bitch right here. Let's put the wooden crank on top. And just to test, let's do a little bit of iron ore here. Now this is manual, and I find that the best method to do this in large stacks is to fire up some music and put my cell phone on the right mouse button and just let this go for a while. And then just come back and check it every once in a while. If you keep pressing it while there's no ore to grind inside of it, it blows that stupid crank off there. Big deal, it's 5 sticks, make a new one. You know? So we're doubling ore here, or the possibility to double ore. I don't think it's guaranteed. Obviously it's not, because we've got an odd number here. If that was the case, if it was 2, you know, we would have 8. So there's a chance to double ores. So anyway, that's the Empowerer. Not real complicated, just a pain in the ass to get set up. And there's the grindstone. So I think that's it for this episode. We ran over our 20-minute mark here, but that's okay. Next time we'll pick it up. Let's take this, take a chance to look at this real quick. Another loot chest. Let's go back, and this is another loot chest. Go back. The next one here, and this one's going to be expensive, is the shipping bin. Let's take a look at that. I have a feeling that's an emerald. Nope. Nope, this is where it gets a little bit complicated. So there's garlic. We don't have any cactus fruit yet, or seaweed. This isn't all that difficult to make, but it's these 3 things is the pain in the ass to get. The garlic you can find pretty much, that's not hard. The kiwi is going to have to be bought, unless I can find a jungle. And the seaweed, I don't even know where to get that seaweed. There is a machine here. Here's the market. You can buy it. There's spinach. There's a kiwi seed, and I don't think there is such thing as a seaweed seed. It's just, I don't think it's there. But you can browse through all here: grapes, lettuce, curry leaf, rhubarb, ginger, whatever, you know, just keep clicking through there. But that's there for you. And this, the market's not real hard to make either. Let's take a look. It's just an emerald, some wool, and then some planks. But that's there. You're gonna need it unless you can find this stuff by yourself. I wasn't, or I'm not able to. Maybe I can. I don't know. I'll have to look. I'll have to go explore. It might take me a while. So we'll catch up next episode, and we'll start going through I Can Fix It, and then we're going to go through, we'll do all 3 of these in one shot, and then we'll clean up this barrel shit here too. That way this will be mostly done. We won't worry about this stuff for now. So until next time.